2:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Josie. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Fifth Essentials. I felt like I needed to do this video now so that I would not forget, because we've been moving through space-time so quickly that I haven't really been able to remember things in a timely manner, right? I have to really sit and think about things you would normally be able to recall quickly. Now, I woke up just a few moments ago quite dehydrated, had to hydrate, had to open my window. I was hot. So that noise in the background is my neighbor's AC unit. Forgive me for that. The title of this video, as I was typing the title and I was putting the date, I realized that today, particularly the 7th of February 2024, the numerology of the day is 8. And if we're in a number 8 year already and the numerology of today is 8, you should expect the unexpected. All forms of 8 energy, infinity, quick energy, quick information, sudden information coming out of nowhere with abundance, not a sticky note, but a whole stack of documents coming out of nowhere. Okay, so if you're a channeler, you may get a download, like legit, or a few downloads. It's going to be a lot quickly coming at you and through you. Okay. Um, Today feels like it's going to be something quite profound for a lot of people. I'm not speaking for everyone, because it is really, really apparent to me now that not everybody is going to experience ascension. And they're not even going to realize what happened, because they can't see what you're going to see. They're not experiencing and have not been experiencing what you're experiencing. And that is a-okay, because I'm here talking to the ascending souls, right? I'm here talking to the light workers, the consciously awakened souls, the consciously aware, right? Um, it's getting real, y'all, right? So here's the deal. I just woke from a dream where I was sitting at a table having an active conversation with a young lady. And as I was as I, as I was sitting there talking to this young lady, doing something that we think is a-okay and normal, right? You feel safe. You're sitting in a chair. The chair is solid. You're sitting at the table, extra support. You're talking to someone, you're not alone. And there were people in the room. Okay, there were people doing things. I mean, it was a few people, at least 4 more people around us. So I had no reason to feel any kind of way. So as I'm sitting there, I experience what seems like when you astral travel, or if you accidentally leave your body when you're not intending to. It could have been astral traveling, it could have been bilocation. All I know is that my physical body stayed in a chair, and another part of my body got up and started doing stuff. Okay. And I'm talking about normal things, whether I got up and went to go get a glass of water or did the dishes. But I'm sitting here talking to this person, and a whole part of me that I am very aware of got up and started doing a series of events, of normal day-to-day events, daily life events, while I was sitting there. And the amount of things that that part of me did spanned over maybe 2 or 3 days worth of stuff. And it was like in fast forward, like the Flash, just doing things. And then came and sat back down within my physical body. And I didn't know how to feel. I paused in the middle of what I was saying to her, like, yo, did you see that? What just happened? What the heck? And I had this understanding right away when that part of me returned. I had this understanding right away. I said, oh my goodness, is this time speeding up? Like, is this an example of, time speeding up? It's no longer, oh, you look up and it's 3 o'clock. No. Um, the symbolism was accelerated time. Like if you get to see a time lapse video, like the result of it, not the part where all of the pictures are being taken over months and days, but the actual end result that's already been edited and you get to see everything fast. Um, that happened. And I was sitting there and I was like, whoa, hold up, what's going on? Right? So then, I try to shake it off and I get up and I'm going to talk to somebody else in the room. Somebody shows up through the front door. I have an interaction with them and I'm mingling and talking to people. Mind you, the people that I'm talking to, I'm not even for real familiar with them in waking life, okay? So, I'm talking to somebody else and it happens again while I'm standing up. Part of me leaves my body and I go do a few days worth of stuff and then I come back. This time when it happened, I remember in a dream looking at the person and literally asking them, did you see that? What are you experiencing right now? Right? And they're standing there like, I'm chilling, right? And the next thing I remember is looking at them, eyes wide open, like looking through their soul, telling them what happened just then and telling them that that was a sign that the clarion call was coming any minute, like any moment. And that is why that is happening, right? And then as I was sitting here preparing to do the video, messages just kept coming in and they were expanding on that, right? Because I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I want to put this message out? Do I want to try to condense it in 10 minutes? But no, of course, I have to take my time because the messages are still coming out. And I'm like, yo, right? So then I pick up my phone and I'm looking at my phone, and I realize I got a text message at like midnight and some change, right? From a friend of mine. And she's telling me about the bizarre day she's had and the ascension symptoms that she's dealing with. And I quickly respond back to her, even though it's 2 a.m. And I tell her how I just woke up, you know. And then I switch over to the YouTube app to make sure I'm in the right account to go live. And the concept of the event that I just witnessed expanded. And what I understand now is, yeah, it has to do with like symbolism of time passing quickly, right? And seeing the result of a lot of things. But it also has to do with what's actually being captured. What are you seeing the result of? So I'm going to try to break this down to y'all as best I can. When I was sitting there and when I was standing there and I had those moments where my body got up and did a whole bunch of stuff, like literally 2 or 3 days worth of stuff, and then came back to me, um, what was happening from what I understand now is that I was seeing my parallel aspects, my parallel self doing things because time did speed up, time is speeded up. And I was seeing and witnessing my parallel selves. And this is why everything didn't just happen when I was in the chair. It happened when I stood up. So that told me it was going to keep happening until it was done. So I'm seeing and witnessing, I guess, specific parallel lives because everything is being fast forwarded and there were experiences that I needed to have before the clarion call or before ascension. I don't know, right? But this is the concept that I understand now. And so when that's happening in your body, whether you're astral traveling, bilocating, whenever part of you leaves and you're sitting there consciously witnessing this whole situation, I understand that you're witnessing your parallel selves, and you're wrapping something up, and this is why it's so quick, and then you get back in your body, um, because it's necessary for it's also like a gathering of sorts. Like if once you see that and then you get back in your body, that self from that parallel universe is with you in the present one now. Like it's a merging of your parallel selves, and you're literally collecting yourself from all of your realities right now. And again, it's a symbolism of time um elapsing quickly. So you're experiencing the end result of all of the actions that you took instead of having to sit there and live through it in what we would say the normal time that we observe. So the whole point in me sharing this with you is because I'm not the only one that's going to be experiencing that. So if you happen to be having a conversation or doing anything and part of you leaves your body and you witness yourself doing a whole bunch of actions and then you come back, um, that may happen multiple times. Okay. I don't know how spaced out that they're going to be. If you happen to be at work and that's happening back to back too many times, I suggest you have to just go and leave and go to nature and allow it to happen. Sit in nature and allow it to happen as many times as it needs to happen so that everything can get wrapped up for you and you can retrieve whatever necessary aspects of yourself that you need to retrieve. Not everybody has the luxury of already being home and things like that. I understand. So I'm trying to give you tools that are logical or realistic, even though that doesn't really exist anymore, right? Um, be safe. I want you to be safe because this is a very profound experience and not everybody is ready for it because it's coming. Okay. It may happen today now that I realize that today is a number 8 day, excuse me, and we're in a number 8 year. It's that's quite a bit of magician energy, quite a bit of infinite energy and 0 point energy there. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Everything's a little too easy to move around, so be careful out there. And there's no reason to be afraid. This is the whole purpose of me explaining what may be about to happen to you in a very real way. So Another thing I want to tell you is when this happens to some of you, because I'm not speaking to everybody, right? When this happens to some of you, the breath is everything. You got to breathe in order to ground yourself, especially when you return one of your aspects to your body. You're going to have to breathe. It's because it's going to be like spinning around. Like when you were a kid, you would have your hands out and you would spin around as fast as you could, and then you would stop and the whole world would be spinning around you, right? The way to ground and not to continuously be dizzy is to take a deep breath in nice and slow. Hold it for about 3 seconds and then let it out nice and slow. And you're going to do that maybe 2 or 3 times or however many times you need in order to come back to your physical self. Um, this is wild, y'all. So yeah, you are getting this information ahead of time, but don't take what I just said too seriously when I say ahead of time, because we are obviously operating outside of what we know as time. So you are getting this information when it is necessary, and it is in the form of a forewarning and preparedness message. And it's definitely not to scare you, it's to prepare you to be able to handle it. I'd be more scared if I didn't have a clue what was going on or any idea. It doesn't mean that you have to take what I say and just believe it the way that it is. It can mean something else to you. It just means at least you have a clue or an idea of what it could be, right? So yeah, the concept of, oh, time is flying or time speeded up because it's now this time and I swore it was just that time like an hour ago. We're not going to be experiencing that anymore. We're going to be experiencing the end result of what seems like a time lapse uh, observation of our parallel selves, because we're gathering aspects of us that need to be intact with this physical body in the now, in this time space, before I guess we ascend, before we get that clarion call. Yeah, I just woke up from this dream, y'all. Um yeah. That's pretty much all I got. I don't feel anything else coming through, and I actually feel better now. A lot of times when we channel, and if I said it earlier, I don't know if I said it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. This energy for today, particularly, very profound experiences may occur with you, your physical body, your psyche, all kinds of stuff. And you may also be experiencing very obvious and profound synchronicities and things happening around you, seeing different colors and just things you didn't see before, or having a different perspective. Um, just know that it's okay that if you ask somebody if they're having a similar experience and they're not part of your soul tribe, or they're not aware to a certain level, they're not gonna know. And that's the part that tripped me out, because in my dream I had really realized how they say that you could be sitting next to one person and completely ascend and literally disappear, and they won't even know anything ever happened. So when Dolores Cannon is talking about that scenario where we go to New Earth, but the old Earth is still there, you can still observe and see like what's going on there. And you'll see people talking about how, oh, so and so was just crazy. I feel so bad for them because they were crazy and then they passed away and none of the things that they were talking about ever happened. Now I understand it because um they actually don't know what happened to you because time elapsed. So I'm gonna try to paint this picture for y'all. If you're today, let's just say it's today's date and you're having lunch with your best friend and you ascend right there. You pop into the fifth dimensional energies. You're gone. You're no longer on the old earth, right? But your friend is still there. You may, as soon as you get to the new earth, because time doesn't exist, it may feel like you were there for like 3 minutes and you decide to look in on where you just were right before you exited. And you're seeing your friend in what looks like the same spot. The whole scenario looks the same. And it may be 2 years later. And your friend may be having that same conversation with somebody like, wow, I can't believe she passed away believing what she believed, or he passed away believing what he believed, and now he's gone. But over that 2 year time lapse, what may have happened in that person's reality is you just stopped talking to them and they didn't actually see you. There was no funeral. They don't know what actually happened to you, but because of the way of the world and all of the events happening, they just assumed you passed away. Do you see? They didn't even actually witness you passing away. They just assumed it. This is tricky to explain and talk about because of what time is doing right now. Because again, it's an observation. It's a it's a it's an observation of a series of events, occurrences. So I get it now what she was talking about when it came to people having no clue what happened because nothing changed for them. Everything stayed the same and it didn't seem like anything happened. It's because something happened with time in order for that to occur. Time did lapse for them when the ascended left the planet. It's weird. That's how I understand that though. Uh, Even though it seems like everything happened in the blink of an eye. It's weird, y'all. That's just the best way that's all I can give y'all. It's literally like an unfinished equation. That's the best way I can explain that though. So yeah, don't freak out. Dig into the bliss energies, dig into the source within you. Do not freak out. Fear has no place in this process. It's all love and it's all out of necessity in order to work through the fabric of reality, literally. Like if you are a needle with a thread at the end and you're going through some kind of fabric. um I don't know, but hey love, welcome. uh yeah, just don't freak out if weird stuff is happening with you today or even after today. um because we've reached a whole nother level. It's here, we're here, like it's happening. And you're not alone. Talk to the people that you know speak your language. Don't really rely on the people around you that have no clue what's going on, okay? You know they don't know. And they're most likely not going to notice when you have an experience like that. So do what we normally do and text your friend at 2 a.m. that understands and is most likely going through the same thing or something else wild and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? breathe, hydrate, and get into nature, if you are having this time lapse experience of gathering of your parallel selves back to back, and it's too often, okay? And you know, love to you, beautiful souls, over the next 2 or 3 days, because I'm not sure what your sleep is going to be like, okay? Yeah, uh, yeah, Cake Lord? Yeah, I think that's, I can barely see y'all. I'm in the dark, and these dang comments are so small. For real, I keep having weird stuff happen to me. I got a concussion and now I keep getting sick. Oh dear, love to you. Healing to you, love. So yeah, y'all just move a little slower because you're moving quite fast, energetically. So and believe me, you are carrying the highest vibration you've carried thus far right now. A lot of us are. Um, and a lot of us are starting to see our Merkaba literally like around us. Like you could see it easily. Like it's there. Like, and you have this awareness that it's there too. I'm telling y'all, it's legit. Like something's going on. And again, you should be excited and you should feel safe and you should feel loved and knowing that you're not the only one and we're all here. And, we're actually blessed to be able to still talk to each other at this point and guide each other and support each other right now because honestly, I didn't think we were going to be able to do this at this point, when things got so intense. But hey, I'm grateful. Um, but yeah, that's all I got for y'all. And I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and your breath is a big deal. Okay? Breathe. Love to you all, and I'll talk to you soon.